Yo, what's that word? What's happening, family, man? It's your brother back again, man. The Black Racist Atheist, man. T, bro, you deal what I'm saying? Coming right at you. First off, rest in peace to Caleb Wilson. My condolences out to his family. It was a shame that the brother lost his life in the situation that he lost his life in. It was a straight up homicide. Uh, it was it was uh, it was totally avoidable. It is totally unacceptable, and there's no reason why it happened. But we got to be honest about what's going on here. We got to be honest about what's happening. Why is hazing still going on in 2025? Why did this young man have to lose his life? And the truth of the matter is, he was a sacrifice. And those three goofies who are responsible, the DPs and ADPs, whatever they call them, who are responsible for his death, they are sacrifices as well. Now, when I say sacrifices, I'm not talking about no spooky demonic shit that's often tied in when people talk about fraternities and sororities and any secret societies. You know, I don't go to, that's not my lane. No disrespect to people who deal with that, but and shout out to the content creators who cover it from that angle, but that's not my lane. What I'm talking about is more realistic. You see, the truth of the matter is the Q dolls, along with other fraternities, sororities, they get off on having people dying when they do these hazing rituals. I know y'all seen a lot of Qs have come out denouncing this act. Hell, even some have come out to denounce the brothers responsible for this act. Ricky Smiley came out, and shout out to Ricky Smiley for reaching out to the family and stuff. But bruh, just being real with you, Ricky Smiley, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You didn't come hard enough, man. You didn't say what really needed to be said, what people really wanted to hear. It's almost like you was slick trying to save face for Omega. But it is what it is. It ain't about you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go in on you right here. But a lot of these, the truth is, bruh, a lot of these fraternities and sororities, like I say, they get off on people dying, people being gravely injured, and people going to jail over this hazing shit. They get off on that. Because what it does, you gotta understand, like with secret societies and fraternities, they get off on having dual reputations. That's why when you get into it with anybody who's associated with them, they always want to bring up, oh, look at how much community service we do. Look at how many scholarships we give out. Look how many, and the D9 love saying this, bro. They love saying this. Look how many civil rights activists we produce. People who have done good for the race and stuff. They always like to go back to that. But on the flip side, they love to be known for the partying. On the flip side, they love to be known for the fighting. On the flip side, they known to be known for, they love to be known for the fucking. You know what I'm saying? They love to be known for that type of stuff, and they love to be known for the hazing. And if you think I'm lying, I'm just blowing smoke up y'all ass. Just check it out. How many chapters of these fraternities, especially the Qs, but the other ones too, Bloody, Gamma, Psi, or Deadly, New Iota. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using them as examples. I ain't saying those chapters actually exist, but they love attaching dangerous adjectives to their descriptions to their chapter's name. They want to have that bloody reputation. That's why And when they say, okay, well, all organizations have strict anti-hazing policies. Another thing, these organizations, and not just them, I mean, any kind of like secret organization, or they love playing, they love, like what the sisters like to say, they love playing in our face, right? It's just like with certain street organizations. Oh, we're not a gang. We're not a criminal organization. We're a community organization. Yeah, we have certain members who gang bang and dope slang and do their thing. But all in all, we for the community. We about moving forward. We about progress. We about getting people to vote. They tell you that, and then the same members who tell you that they are a positive organization and they about moving forward. Next thing you know, they didn't call Rico because they involved in the murders of 100 people and they sold over $100 million worth of dope. They like to do that kind of stuff. They like to play both sides. They love that duality of having one face and then having another face. They get a high off that. They get off on that. You did. And if you watch the movies Burning Sands, the only streaming service I was able to find it on is Netflix. That's where it premiered on, and that's where it seems to be. It still is. But I employ everybody to watch Burning Sands, bro, because, and the dude who directed, the brother who directed it, he's a Q himself, and you can tell that Lambda Lambda Side was heavily based off the Qs, right? And let me say this right quick. I know some great Qs. I know some Qs who really hate what happened, who genuinely hate what happened. They pissed off about it. But the thing about it is, it's more of the Qs who really, they're more upset about the arrest. They more upset that the brothers got caught, and then most of them are just like nonchalant. They like, hey, it is what it is. Omega. You know what I'm saying? People die trying to join our frat. That's what makes us the hardest and the toughest. They get off on that, and I'm gonna tell you this too. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge this shit, but people say, I've seen a lot of people when I look at different hazing cases. Shout out to, I think the brother name is Byron Hertz. He did a PBS documentary called Hazing. He accused himself. So you got some real anti-hazing activists in the D9 community. But they're really the minority though, because I'm gonna tell you something, bro. And really the national organizations, the D9 used them to put on this front like they're against hazing, but in reality they're really not. And then a lot of people want to understand why with the hazing, right? When people die during hazing, or if they survive, but they had to drop line because the injuries were too grave, why it seems like the fraternities or the sororities don't give a damn. They don't try to, they be cold-hearted toward the families, show them no love. Sometimes they harass the families, threaten them. Well, because here's the thing, and this is why I ain't gonna lie, when I started seeing people renounce and denounce their fraternity or sorority, at first it was, to me, it was like it was some weird, corny, overzealous shit. But now, even though y'all see my name and y'all know how I feel about certain, religious topics and stuff like that, but still though, I still see why they do it, because I see why they do that. Because when you die trying to cross the burning sands, in the subconscious minds of the members of the fraternities and the sororities, that was the spirit of their fraternity or the sorority getting you out the way. You did what I'm saying. When you die pledging and you die in the process, a lot of times they look at it one or two ways. One way they look at it as you were an imposter, and instead of being smart, instead of not trying to join in the first place, or you know what I'm saying, dropping line before your life was lost, or should I say your life was taken. You kept trying to be a perpetrator. You know what I'm saying? You was a perp and you got dealt with in the worst way. That's how they look at it, bro. That's why they don't have no sympathy when people die doing hazing. Because they feel like you wasn't meant to be a member anyway. It was all by design for the spirit to take you out the game. That's how a lot of them are thinking subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? You was too weak. You couldn't make it. And you lost your life in the process. Aha, moving on. Or on the flip side, they look at it like, hey, you really wanted it. You lost your life in the process. You know what I'm saying? That's the ultimate test of loyalty. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, it's like it was a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they get all the demonic accusations and stuff. But really, it's really like more or less just real abnormal organizational psychology. You know. Now, dude, now that's really what it is. And it's crazy. And the brother, and the thing about it, the brother Caleb Wilson, he probably already went through hazing with the band shit. Cause everybody know HBCU band culture. We love the bands, we get down with it. But everybody know, man, that band culture can be very toxic. You did what I'm saying? But our people is so in love with entertainment. We love to be entertained. That we really don't give a fuck what goes on behind the scenes. Hell, sometimes in front of the scenes to keep us entertained. You know, but hazing to me is just so stupid because why would why would I go through why would I go through a violent initiation to join a non-violent organization? Because let's be real. Yeah, frats will get into fights. There have been cases where frats have gotten into shootouts and killed people in shootouts. But at the end of the day, if a real street war broke out, I've seen where I'm from, in my city, I've seen frats get pressed by real street guys. You know what I'm saying? When it's about to go to another level past an isolated incident, a little brawl or whatever, motherfuckers start making phone calls. Motherfuckers start having meetings. Because at the end of the day, y'all not built for no real war. Ain't no Omegas running no prison system. Yeah, y'all got cats on the police force, but they can only do so much. You hear what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they still ain't white. They can do some dirty shit, but they still ain't white. You did what I'm saying? So my thing is, and I've seen it was a shorty on here who talked about, it was a lady on here who talked about how the Omegas, you did what I'm saying, how the Q's, her cousin got jumped by some people at a party who at a Q party, but they weren't Q's. The people who jumped her cousin beat the brace off the man, gave the man a traumatic head injury. The Q's were so scared about, I guess, getting in trouble for being involved in the fight, they wouldn't let that man go get checked out for his head injury. And then about a year later, that man died because he started having seizures, and he ended up having seizures in his sleep. You did what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, bro, like, when it comes to some real, you know how many frat members and even sorority members have been killed by people in the streets? Do you think they frats and they sororities roll for them? Hell no. Hell no. So if I know you ain't gonna really go to war for me, why I'm letting you put your hand? Why am I gonna let you kill me when I know you ain't gonna kill for me? I'm gonna let you potentially kill me by hazing me, but I know you ain't gonna kill for me. And I'm gonna tell you this too. They better be glad, you know, that Caleb Wilson came from a respectable, law-abiding family. His father is high up in law enforcement. Cause I promise you, if he came from like one of them cutthroat families, from Baton Rouge, from from the bottom where Boosie them from Easy Town, from Ghost Town. I know about that Baton Rouge, I know about Jigger City. You know what I'm saying? If he really was, if he, trust me, bro, them guys would have been on them Q-Dogs' ass. Hell, the band members already want to get at their ass. You hear what I'm saying? The band members already want to get on. They had to, behind the scenes, it ain't make, they had to like really talk to the band members and tell them to chill because they was really hot about this. You know? Because, bands, they really see, that's like a fraternity in itself. You did what I'm saying? But man, this shit wild.